Good morning students. In the last class we studied about the properties of sulfuric acid, right? So sulfuric acid is an important chemical, and that is because of its four properties: because of its low volatility, high acidic strength, and because of its dehydrating agent, and because of its acidic character. So because of these four characteristics, it plays an important role in the field of chemistry. So the chemical reactions of sulfuric acid is because of its low volatility, strong acidic character, strong affinity for water, and ability to act as an oxidizing agent. So we have studied about its low volatility and strong acidic character, right? And in aqueous solution, so this is an explanation for the strong acidic character of sulfuric acid. In aqueous solution, sulfuric acid ionizes in two steps. H2SO4 ionizes to give HSO4 minus along with the hydronium ion. This hydronium ion dissociates to give H plus ion, right? So Ka value is greater than 10 or Ka1. The first step dissociation constant is considered as a Ka1 and it is very large. In the second step, HSO4 dissociates to give H3O plus and SO4 2 minus. For this, the dissociation constant is 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 2. So because of very large dissociation constant, sulfuric acid is mainly present in the form of H3O plus and HSO4 minus. Hence it acts as a strong acid. And the large value of large dissociation constant indicates that it is a strong acid. And next is due to its low volatility, it is used to manufacture more volatile acids from their metallic salts. So 2MX, where M is a metal, where X is a chlorine, Cl, chlorine fluoride or nitrate, and H2SO4, and here we can prepare either HF, HCl or HNO3 plus M2SO4, that is a metal sulfate. And next one is concentrated sulfuric acid is a strong dehydrating agent. Dehydrating agent means it has a strong affinity towards water. So, and many wet gases can be purified by passing them through concentrated sulfuric acid. If any gas has vapor or moisture, that gases can be dried by passing it through concentrated sulfuric acid, provided it should not react with the concentrated sulfuric acid. And one evidence for the strong dehydrating action of concentrated sulfuric acid is its charring action with the sucrose. So sulfuric acid removes water from organic compounds. Charring action of carbohydrates when sulfuric acid is added. So charring action of sulfuric acid takes place when sulfuric acid is added to sucrose C12H22O11. Here the elements of water are hydrogen and oxygen that are removed as water molecule, whereas carbon gets charred or it is collected in the form of carbon. The carbon present in the sucrose is collected in the form of char or carbon, right? So this is an important equation to explain the dehydrating action of concentrated sulfuric acid on carbohydrates or sucrose. Next, hot concentrated sulfuric acid is moderately strong oxidizing agent. So in that case, it lies in between that of phosphoric acid and nitric acid. Nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. Next to that, sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid, and next it comes phosphoric acid. So there are evidences for the strong oxidizing ability of concentrated sulfuric acid. There are three reactions which explains the oxidizing property of concentrated sulfuric acid. First is copper. When it is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, it gets oxidized to copper sulfate. It gets oxidized to copper sulfate. Here the oxidation state of copper is 0 and here it is plus 2. So it gets oxidized to copper sulfate and sulfuric acid gets reduced to sulfur dioxide. In sulfuric acid, the oxidation state of sulfur is plus 6 and in sulfur dioxide the oxidation state of sulfur is +4. Itself it gets reduced to sulfur dioxide. Important equation. Next, non-metal, that is sulfur and carbon. When sulfur is treated with sulfuric acid, it gets oxidized to sulfur dioxide. So here sulfur gets oxidized to sulfur dioxide. Again the sulfur present in the sulfuric acid also gets reduced to sulfur dioxide. This is oxidized. Sulfur gets oxidized to sulfur dioxide, and this sulfur gets reduced to sulfur dioxide. And in carbon, it gets oxidized by concentrated sulfuric acid to carbon dioxide, and the sulfur present in concentrated sulfuric acid gets reduced to sulfur dioxide. So carbon gets oxidized to carbon dioxide. So these are the three examples where the hot concentrated sulfuric acid act as an oxidizing agent with the metals and with non-metals. Note down the equations. Next, uses of sulfuric acid. So as I said in the last class, concentrated sulfuric acid is named as a king of chemicals because it is used to prepare many other industrially important chemical compounds. So some of the uses of concentrated sulfuric acid are: sulfuric acid is needed for the manufacture of hundreds of other compounds, and it is used in the manufacture of fertilizers and used in petroleum refining, manufacture of pigments, paints and dyes of intermediates, and used in detergent industry, metallurgical applications, cleansing of metals before enameling, electroplating and galvanizing, and it is used in the storage batteries, in the manufacture of nitrocellulose products and as a laboratory reagents. Just note down the uses of sulfuric acid. And next we'll move on to the group 17 elements. So far we studied about group 16 elements. In that the important compounds of two elements, that is oxygen and sulfur. In case of oxygen only two compounds were studied, that is oxygen and ozone, and in the second element of group 16 is sulfur. The two important compounds of sulfur are elemental sulfur, sulfur dioxide and sulfuric acid. Elemental sulfur alli ನಾವು allotropic forms of sulfur study ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. Next sulfur dioxide and sulfuric acid, its chemical property and physical properties, right? Next we'll move on to the group 17 elements. So group 17 elements are also called halogens. They are called halogens. They are called halogens because in Greek halogens means salt producers. Most of the salts are either in the form of fluoride, chlorides or bromides, hence they are called salt producers, right? Let us see what are the elements of group 17. So these are the elements of group 17: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine and tennessine. These are the elements of group 17 or halogens. The symbol for fluorine is F and its atomic number is 9 and its configuration is helium 2s2 2p5. Chlorine, its symbol is Cl, its atomic number is 17 and its configuration is neon 3s2 3p5. Bromine, next element, symbol Br, its atomic number is 35 and its configuration is configuration of argon 3d10 4s2 4p5. Then iodine, symbol is I, atomic number 53, configuration of krypton 4d10 5s2 5p5. And astatine, At symbol, its atomic number is 85, xenon 4f14 5d10 6s2 6p5. And tennessine, Ts, atomic number 117, configuration of xenon 5f14 6d10 7s2 and 7p5. And in the physical state, fluorine is a gas, chlorine is also gas, bromine is a liquid, iodine is a solid, astatine and tennessine are the radioactive elements. Just note down the elements and its atomic number and configuration of group 17. So in tennessine, this is the configuration of radon, not xenon. This is the configuration of radon, Rn. Okay, next we will discuss the occurrence of group 17 elements. So in group 17 elements, the elements are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine and tennessine. So here fluorine and chlorine are very abundant in nature, whereas bromine and iodine are less abundant. We will not discuss the chemistry of tennessine and astatine because of their less abundance, and also they are radioactive. And fluorine and chlorine, fluorine is mainly present in the form of fluorides like fluorspar and cryolite and fluorapatite. Fluorine is present mainly as insoluble fluorides, fluorspar, its formula is calcium fluoride CaF2, cryolite Na3AlF6, that is also an insoluble fluoride, and fluorapatite. The formula of fluorapatite is 3Ca3PO4 twice and CaF2. This is a phosphate rock. It is of the fluorapatite family and of apatite family, and small quantities are present in soil, river water plants and bones and teeth of animals. So this is occurrence of fluorine. It is mainly present in the form of insoluble fluorides, fluorspar, that is calcium fluoride, cryolite and fluorapatite. So fluorapatite is a phosphate rock of apatite family, and small quantities are present in soil, river water plants and bones and teeth of animals, right? And the major source of halogen is sea, right? So sea water contains chloride, bromides and iodides of sodium, potassium, magnesium and calcium. However, the major component is sodium chloride, that is 2.5% by mass. The sea water contains about 2.5% by mass of sodium chloride. And the deposits of dried up seas contain sodium chloride and carnallite, that is KCl, MgCl2 and 6H2O. Deposits of dried up sea, it contains potassium, sodium chloride and carnallite, and its carnallite formula is KCl, MgCl2 and 6H2O. Next, certain forms of marine life contains iodine in their system. Certain seaweeds contains iodine as sodium iodate. So these are the occurrence of group 17 elements. The major source of group 17 element is sea, right? Because sea water contains chlorides, bromides and iodides. All the halogens are available there in the form of sodium, potassium and magnesium and calcium salts. But fluorine is mainly present in the form of insoluble fluorides, but in organic system also it is present in soil, river water plants and bones and teeth of animals. And certain forms of marine life or seaweeds also contain iodine. Okay, next let us discuss about some of the chemical properties of group 17 elements. Electronic configuration. The electronic configuration is the configuration of noble gas NS2 and NP5. This is the general electronic configuration of noble gas, group 17 elements, configuration of noble gas NS2 and NP5. And it has only one electron less to the nearest noble gas. Then atomic and ionic radii, the group 17 elements, if you compare the periods from groups from left to right, these group elements have very less atomic and ionic radii because of the very large effective nuclear charge. But however, down the group, atomic size and ionic size increases, and we can observe very much chemical and physical similarities among the members of the same group as that of group 1 and group 2 elements, right? Group 1 and the alkali metals, group 2 alkaline earth metals, the main feature of that group is the members of the group elements members of the group show similarity among themselves, but such type of similarity is not observed in the case of other group elements of group 15, 16, right? But group 17 element shows very much similarity among themselves in physical and chemical properties. So atomic and ionic radii, group 17 elements have very low values of atomic and ionic radii because of the very large effective nuclear charge, but however down the group atomic size and ionic radii increases because of the increase in the principal quantum number. Next, electron gain enthalpy, as the configuration is ns2 np5, it has only one electron less to the nearest noble gas configuration. They have very large negative electron gain enthalpy because they are ready to accept one electron, hence they have very large electron gain enthalpy. If you see in that trend, then fluorine should have more negative electron gain enthalpy, but however down the group electron gain enthalpy becomes less negative, but it is expected that fluorine should have more negative electron gain enthalpy, but there is one exception between the electron gain enthalpies of fluorine and chlorine. The expected trend is not observed between fluorine and chlorine. The expected trend is that fluorine should have more negative electron gain enthalpy, but electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less negative than that of the chlorine. That is only one exception, that is because of the small size of fluorine atom, there is a strong inter-electronic repulsions among the electrons present in the small 2p orbital. Therefore, the incoming electrons will not experience much attraction. Therefore, the electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less negative compared to that of the chlorine, but however down the group the regular trend follows, that is the electron gain enthalpy becomes less negative. Next, ionization enthalpy. The group 17 elements have very less tendency to lose electrons, hence they have very high ionization enthalpy. However, down the group ionization enthalpy decreases. Group 17 elements have very less tendency to lose electron, hence they have very high ionization enthalpy. Next, electronegativity. Electronegativity decreases down the group, and fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table. Down the group electronegativity value decreases, but fluorine has the highest electronegativity. So these are the some of the chemical properties of group 17 elements. Electronic configuration is configuration of noble gas ns2 np5. Atomic and ionic radii decreases down the group. Electron gain enthalpy more negative, but down the group it becomes less negative. Ionization enthalpy is very high, but down the group it decreases, and electronegativity also decreases down the group. Next, some of the physical properties. Fluorine and chlorine are gases, bromine is a liquid and iodine is a solid. This is a physical state. Fluorine and chlorine are gases, bromine is a liquid and iodine is a solid. And their melting and boiling point steadily increases with increase in atomic number, and all the halogens are colored. All the halogens are colored. Fluorine is yellow in color, chlorine is greenish yellow, bromine is red in color, and iodine is violet in color. Fluorine is a yellow colored gas, chlorine is a greenish yellow colored gas, bromine is a red colored liquid, and iodine is a violet colored solid. The reason for the color of the halogen is because of the absorption of radiation in the visible region. Because of that absorption, the electrons will enter into the higher energy level. So because of the absorption, they acquire different colors. All the halogens are colored due to the absorption of radiations in visible region, which results in the excitation of outer electrons to the higher energy level. Next, fluorine has yellow color, chlorine is greenish yellow, bromine is red, and iodine is a violet colored solid. And next is fluorine and chlorine reacts with water. Fluorine and chlorine reacts with water, and we'll discuss it later how it reacts with water. Fluorine and chlorine reacts with water, whereas bromine and iodine only sparingly soluble in water but are readily soluble in organic solvents like chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, carbon disulfide, etc., giving colored solutions. Okay. Fluorine and chlorine reacts with water, but bromine and iodine are only sparingly soluble in water. And next is fluorine has a smaller enthalpy of dissociation compared to that of chlorine. Fluorine has the smallest enthalpy of dissociation. There is fluorine to fluorine and chlorine to chlorine bonds. If you compare these two bonds, it is expected that the bond dissociation enthalpy decreases down the group. Therefore, the bond dissociation enthalpy of fluorine should be very high compared to that of the chlorine. That is expected trend. Right? So bond dissociation enthalpy andre amount of energy required to break the bond, right? So down the group baruvaga bond dissociation enthalpy decrease ಆಗ್ತದೆ because of the increase in atomic size. ಇದರ size ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಟ್ರೆಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ ಫ್ಲೂರಿನಿಗೆ ಏನಿರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೋರ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಡಿಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಎಂಥಾಲ್ಪಿ, ಬಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಡಿಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಎಂಥಾಲ್ಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ fluorine is less than that of the chlorine. The reason is because of the small size, there is a strong electronic repulsion between the lone pair of electrons present in the fluorine atoms. Hence the bond between the fluorine atoms can be easily break. Hence it has less bond dissociation enthalpy compared to that of the chlorine. Right? So the bond dissociation enthalpy of fluorine is less than that of the chlorine. That is because of the strong interelectronic repulsions between the lone pair of electrons of fluorine atom. Such type of repulsion is present also there in the chlorine, but because of the small size of the fluorine atom, that repulsion predominates in the case of fluorine. Hence it has a less bond dissociation enthalpy than that of the chlorine. And this is due to the relatively large electron-electron repulsion among the lone pairs in fluorine molecule, where they are much closer to each other than in the case of chlorine. So the electronic configuration of fluorine is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು ಬರೀದಾದರೆ 2s2 and 2p5, 1 2 3 4 5. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ lone pair of electrons ಇರ್ತದಲ್ವಾ, so bond is formed between fluorine and fluorine atoms by using this single unpaired electrons. However, it contains 3 lone pair of electrons, and because of its small size, there is a strong repulsion between the atoms of fluorine because of this lone pair of electrons. Therefore, the bond between the two fluorine atoms can be easily cleaved. So bond dissociation enthalpy is very small compared to that of the chlorine. It does not follow the expected trend, that's it. Right? The expected trend is fluorine should have more bond dissociation enthalpy, but actually fluorine has less bond dissociation enthalpy than chlorine. Next is chemical properties. So in the physical properties, we discussed about the physical state of chlorine and fluorine, where gases, bromine is a liquid and iodine is a solid, and the melting and boiling point increases down the group, and all halogens are colored because of the absorption of radiation in the visible region, and the solubility fluorine and chlorine are reacts with water, whereas the bromine and iodine are sparingly soluble in water, and the fluorine has a less bond dissociation enthalpy than that of the chlorine, and that is because of the interelectronic repulsion between the atoms of fluorine due to the presence of lone pair of electrons, and that is in turn because of the small size of the fluorine atom. Next, let us discuss about the chemical properties. In that it comes oxidation states and trends in chemical reactivity. The configuration of noble gases is NS2, NP5, So as it is ready to accept one electron to attain the nearest noble gas configuration, it exhibit -1 oxidation state. Mainly it exhibit -1 oxidation state, but however fluorine exhibit only -1 oxidation state except in one compound, that is HOF. Hypofluorous acid, its name is hypofluorous acid. It is one of the oxo acid of fluorine in which it exhibits +1 oxidation state. This is only the one exception of oxidation state for fluorine. In all other compounds it exhibit -1 oxidation state because of its high electronegativity, right? And NS2NP5, in the ground state it exhibit only -1 or +1 oxidation state, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is responsible for +1 or -1 oxidation state of halogens. In the first excited state, we can write the configuration like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. This electron gets unpaired to d orbital. So here there are 3 unpaired electrons, hence it is responsible for the +3 oxidation state of halogens. And in the second excited state, this pair of electrons also gets unpaired, 1 and 2. So this is responsible for the +5 oxidation state of halogens. And in the third excited state, we can write the configuration like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this is responsible for the +7 oxidation states of halogens, right? So halogens exhibits variable oxidation state, but very common it exhibits -1 oxidation state, and fluorine exhibits only -1 oxidation state. Only in the case of hypofluorous acid it exhibits +1 oxidation state, otherwise it exhibits only -1 oxidation state. In the in the first excited state, halogens may exhibit +3 oxidation state. In the second excited state, they may exhibit +5 oxidation state, and in the third excited state they may exhibit +7 oxidation states, right? And chlorine, bromine and iodine also exhibits higher oxidation state when they combines with the fluorine and oxygen, right? And also in the case of interhalogen compounds and oxo acids. So all the halogens exhibit -1 oxidation state. Chlorine, bromine and iodine exhibit +1, +3, +5 and +7 oxidation state. Example in interhalogen compounds, oxides and oxo acids. But fluorine exhibit only +1 oxidation state. Only in case of hypofluorous acid it exhibit +1 oxidation state, whereas the chlorine, bromine and iodine exhibit +1, +3, +5 and +7 oxidation state in case of interhalogen compounds, oxides and oxo acids. And oxidation state of +4 and +6 occur in the oxides and oxo acids of chlorine and bromine. Chlorine and bromine also exhibit +4 and +6 oxidation state in the case of oxo acids. But fluorine exhibit only -1 oxidation state, but however one exception is there, hypofluorous acid. Next, chemical reactivity. Halogens are highly reactive elements, but however chemical reactivity decreases down the group. All the halogens are highly reactive. Reactivity decreases down the group. Then they are strong oxidizing agent. They are strong oxidizing agent because they can readily accept the electrons, hence they may undergo reduction. ಯಾವುದು ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. but they can make the other elements to undergo oxidation. So they are strong oxidizing agents due to high acceptance of electron. Fluorine is the strongest oxidizing agent or oxidizing halogen. It oxidizes other halide ions in solution or even in the solid state. In general, any halide can oxidize a halide ion of higher atomic number, right? So the fluorine can oxidize, is the strongest oxidizing agent, F2. It can oxidize other halide ion, so that is F minus, 2F minus plus X2, where X is chlorine, bromine or iodine. Chlorine, bromine, iodine, whereas a chlorine, Cl2, it can oxidize either bromide ion or iodide ion, that is 2Cl minus plus X2, where here X is Br minus or I minus, whereas a bromine, Br2, it oxidizes I minus, right? So this is the reactions to explain the oxidizing ability of halogens. Fluorine is the strongest oxidizing agent. It oxidizes halide ions of higher atomic number. That is, it can oxidize chloride ion, bromide ion or iodide ion, whereas a chlorine can oxidize either bromide ion or iodide ion, whereas a bromine can oxidize only iodide ions. So in general, a halogen oxidizes halide ions of higher atomic number. So you may note this point. In general, a halogen oxidizes halide ions of higher atomic number. Fluorine can oxidize chloride, bromide or iodide. Bromine can oxidize only iodide ion, but the chlorine can oxidize bromine or iodide ions. And oxidizing ability of the halogens in aqueous solution decreases down the group. Oxidizing ability of the halogens in aqueous solution is decreases down the group. There are some electrochemical reasons for this. Oxidizing ability of the halogen in aqueous solution decreases. The evidence is that fluorine can oxidize water to oxygen. Fluorine water oxidize ಮಾಡಬಹುದು to oxygen, whereas the iodine, reaction of iodine and water is non-spontaneous. Let us see how. So fluorine reacts with water to give oxygen and fluoride ion. See here, the oxidation state of fluorine is 0. It undergo reduction to F minus. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ -1 ಆಯಿತು. So it undergoes reduction, whereas oxidation state of oxygen here is -2 and this is 0. In elemental oxygen it is 0, so it undergoes oxidation. So fluorine can oxidize water to oxygen. So fluorine oxidizes water to give oxygen, whereas a chlorine and bromine react with water to form corresponding hydrohalic and hypohalous acid. So we can write the reaction for that. See here, X2, this is chlorine or bromine plus water, this is HX and HOX. HX and HOX. So HX means, ಈಗ ಇದು chlorine ಆದರೆ HCl, HOX ಅಂದರೆ HOCl, bromine ಆದರೆ HBr and this is HOBr. So here it is given that hydrohalic ಅಂದರೆ this is hydrochloric, this is hydrobromic, hydrochloric and hydrobromic, and hypohalous, this is hypochlorous and this is hypobromous acid. So this is happens when chlorine or bromine reacts with water, whereas when fluorine reacts with water it oxidizes water to oxygen, but when chlorine reacts with water it gives hydrohalic and hypohalous acid, right? Whereas the reaction of iodine with water is non-spontaneous. It is observed that iodide ion is oxidized by oxygen to iodine. right? So the reaction of iodine with water is just the reverse of the reaction of fluorine with water. ನಾವು ಅಯೋಡಿನ್ಗೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ ವಾಟರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಫ್ಲೂರಿನ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾನ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ದ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. The reaction of iodine with water is non-spontaneous. The reaction of iodine with water is non-spontaneous. We can write the reaction like this: O2 plus I minus plus H plus to give between iodine and oxygen are non-spontaneous. So it is evident that I minus is oxidized by oxygen to water. So this reaction is just the opposite reaction of fluorine and water. Is anomalous behavior of fluorine. As in the case of other groups, the first element of the group has some properties which are different from that of the other elements. So in this group also, the first member of the group, that is fluorine, has some of the properties which are very different from that of the other members of the same group. The anomalous properties of fluorine is due to its small size, high electronegativity, and low bond dissociation enthalpy, and availability of non-availability of d orbitals in the valence shell. The reason for the anomalous properties of fluorine is because of its small size, high electronegativity, low bond dissociation enthalpy, and because of the non-availability of d orbitals. So anomalous properties are ionization enthalpy, electronegativity, and electrode potentials are higher for fluorine than expected from the trend set by other elements. ಅಂದರೆ ಫ್ಲೂರಿನಿಗೆ electrode potential, electron negativity, and ionization enthalpy, these three parameters are higher than they expected. Whereas ionic and covalent radii, melting and boiling point, enthalpy of bond dissociation, and electron gain enthalpy are quite lower than expected. ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್? Ionic and covalent radii, melting point and boiling point, enthalpy of bond dissociation, and electron gain enthalpies are quite lower than expected. And most of the reactions of fluorine are exothermic. Because of its small size and strong bond formed by fluorine with other elements, most of the reactions of fluorine are exothermic. The anomalous properties of fluorine is because of its small size, high electronegativity, low bond dissociation enthalpy, and non-availability of d orbital. That is the reason for the anomalous properties of fluorine. And evidences for the anomalous properties are some parameters are higher than expected, that is electronegativity, then ionization enthalpies, and electrode potential. These are higher than expected. Whereas ionic and covalent radii, melting and boiling points, enthalpy of bond dissociation, and electron gain enthalpies are lower than expected. And most of the reactions of fluorine are exothermic, that is because of its small size and a strong bond formed by fluorine with other elements. And it forms only one oxoacid. As I said earlier, fluorine forms only one oxoacid, H4F, whereas other element forms number of oxoacids because of the availability of d orbitals. And hydride of fluorine, that is HF, Hydride of fluorine. Hydride means when elements combines with hydrogen it gives hydride. The hydride of fluorine is liquid, whereas hydride of other halogens are gases, right? Hydrogen fluoride, it is a liquid, whereas hydrogen chloride is a gas. Remember, hydrogen chloride is a gas, but the hydrochloric acid is a liquid, right? So here, hydride of the fluorine, that is hydrogen fluoride, is liquid. That is because of the hydrogen bonding formed between the molecules of hydrogen fluoride. Because of the small size and high electronegativity of fluorine atoms, there is a intermolecular hydrogen bonding is formed between the molecules of hydrogen fluoride. Hence, it is a liquid. Whereas such type of hydrogen bonding, the intermolecular hydrogen bonding, is not formed in the case of HCl or other hydrogen halides. So they are gases. Only hydrogen fluoride or hydride of a fluorine is gas, whereas hydride of other halogen atoms are gases. So this is about anomalous properties of fluorine. The reason, evidences. So it forms only one oxoacid. Fluorine forms only one oxoacid, whereas other halogens have number of oxoacids because of the availability of d orbitals. And hydrogen fluoride is a liquid, while other hydrogen halides are gases. That is because of the small size and high electronegativity of fluorine, it can form hydrogen bonding, intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So because of that intermolecular hydrogen bonding, hydrogen fluoride exists as a liquid. And as I said earlier, reactivity with hydrogen, when a group 17 elements reacts with hydrogen, they form hydrogen halides. So hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide. Hydrogen iodide. These are the hydrides of group 17 elements, HF, HCl, HBr and HI. Their aqueous solutions are called hydrohalic acids. Hydrogen halides. These are hydrogen halides, but their aqueous solutions are called hydrohalic acids. That is hydrofluoric acid, hydrochloric acid, hydrobromic acid and hydroiodic acid. These are hydrogen halides, but their aqueous solutions are called hydrohalic acids. Here we have to discuss about 3 points. One is acidic character, bond dissociation enthalpy and thermal stability. Their acidic character is in this order: hydrogen iodide, hydrogen bromide, hydrogen chloride and hydrogen fluoride. So hydrogen iodide is more acidic because of the increase in the size down the group of fluorine to iodine. There is increase in the size down the group. So there is a large size difference between the hydrogen atom and iodine. Hence bond can be easily cleaved. So H plus ion can be easily removed. So HI is more acidic than HBr. It is more acidic than HCl, and HCl is more acidic than HF. Whereas a bond dissociation enthalpy follows the reverse order, that is HF has high bond dissociation enthalpy, then HCl, then HBr, then HI. So HI has very low bond dissociation enthalpy, and thermal stability also follows the same order. HF is more stable, whereas HI is the least stable. So this is for acidic character, and this is for thermal stability and bond dissociation enthalpy. Bond dissociation energy. So acidic character increases down the group, whereas the thermal stability and the bond dissociation energy decreases from HF to HI. So halogens react with the hydrogen, forming hydrogen halides, but definitely for hydrogen decreases from fluorine to iodine. Hydrogen halide dissolves in water to form hydrohalic acids, and acidic strength decreases. Hydrogen iodide is more acidic, whereas hydrogen fluoride is least acidic. And stability of halides decreases down the group due to decrease in bond dissociation enthalpy. So stability of halides decreases down the group due to decrease in bond dissociation enthalpy. Stability means thermal stability. As the bond dissociation enthalpy decreases, thermal stability also decreases. So thermal stability of hydrogen fluoride is maximum and hydrogen iodide is minimum. Right? So this is about the reactivity of group 17 elements with the hydrogen. Right? We'll discuss more about in the next class. Thank you.